I've become a very great believer in the symbolic nature of things, what I've termed their metaphorical character, what they stand for, and to what they directly refer when mentioned. And Trump is the quintessential American metaphor. When you think about it, it's hard to imagine anyone more American than Donald J. Trump. You can't speak of Trump without speaking to the United States that produced him, either. He is emblematic of a people, of a place, and of a way of life that was the success story of the 20th century. Trump, like America, isn't perfect. He's loud, he's brash, he's frequently tactless, as Americans often are, but he's also gregarious, kind-hearted, and brave. Americans have a particularly noble quirk in their souls, which is that they just tend to expect the best of everyone. They're an optimistic people. They can get things done. And in this way, Trump isn't just a metaphor for America. He is an avatar of it. He is the most American I've ever seen, and he shamelessly and open-heartedly loves his country. He is authentic about this, in a way only someone not trained to be a politician is able to be, and this is why people love him, and they really do love him. He is standing up for a certain way of life, their way of life, a way of life that is open, honest, and respectable, in which they are a free people, able to live unbounded by excess rules, to deal with the world as they see fit, and where hard work is properly rewarded. So what is ranged against him? Well, it's hard to pin down exactly. Some kind of informal but tangible international liberal order, which operates in a completely different way. It isn't happy, it isn't confident, it isn't predicated on hard work and honesty. In fact, it seems to be an amalgamation of all of the worst traits a person can possess. The forces against him pretend to be joyous or optimistic, but they are instead envious, bitter, resentful, pessimistic, scheming, and deceitful. What the Democrat machine has drawn together are the angry, selfish, indolent, and jealous malcontents of America. People who never built anything, and who look with seething hatred upon those that did, and see state power as a way of taking from the hard-working and redistributing it to their lazy and often criminal dependents. Theirs is an empire built from a grim reliance on the dark side of human nature, the self-interested, grasping, green-eyed side. They have created a coalition of vice and declare it to be the equal of virtue. Present in their hearts is a manifest state of injustice, and they seek to externalize that not just upon America, but the entire world. Look at what they're offering. Their primary campaigning points are the ability to murder unborn babies, to give preferential treatment to foreign peoples, to give leniency for criminals, and to steal the wealth of the hard-working for the sake of the feckless, and all done under the hollow term social justice. This is not just an election. This is a moment to decide the fate of the moral order of the world. The machine of a kind of feminine woke globalism of HR meetings and emotional blackmail and exploitation versus a group that espouses a more masculine patriotism in a world of great men and heroes where people are recognized for their worth. The choices before Americans today are the further managed decline of your country or the mythological rebirth of it. This is the choice, and it is laid out for us by both candidates in their rhetoric. Make America equal or make America great. It's time to choose between the cold machine of rational calculation or the triumph of the human spirit. If Kamala loses, nobody will remember her. And if she wins, nobody will remember her either, because she isn't a character in the story. Nobody loves Kamala Harris, which is why she had to drop out of the 2020 primary on 5%, and why the machine just skipped having a primary in 2024. She's just the empty vessel that the international global order is using to bring itself into being. Just like Starmer, Trudeau, Ardern and the rest of the West Shills. Just look at the quality of the people who surround her. Would you want the endorsement of Dick Cheney or Cardi B? Would you trust any of them to babysit your children? Would you entrust them with money? They themselves are not people of good character. And by comparison, the genuine stars of our era are lining up behind the great man of history. Tulsi, RFK, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, and so many others join the roster of the victims of the Democrats' Cultural Revolution. All of the mythos of the United States that the Democrats have sought to reduce, to erode, to denigrate and discredit is all for Trump. But it's not just Trump that they are for. They are for America itself. It is the history, the nationhood, and the continuance of America and its people that they stand for. Because if the Democrats win, such things will cease to exist. There won't be a mythos of America, of the West, of the world. There won't be this great story. What there will be is numbers on spreadsheets, rights claims, handouts, racial categories, grievance mongering, endless corporate tone policing, as you are systematically reduced by government policy and international institutions to a serf on the global plantation, while the world sinks into the underdark loom of the great cave governed by an eternal den mother of which there is no escape. The paradigms come to their final conflict today, and you need to choose which one you will be. Will you be a global citizen of nowhere who takes their allotted share of nothing for the duration of your unmemorable life before you eventually get liquidated back into the sludge that birthed you? Or are you going to be Americans? Choose wisely and vote. I and the rest of the Lotus Eaters team, along with an incredible selection of guests, will be watching the results of this historic election come in live on Rumble today. I will leave a link in the description, and we'll begin broadcasting at midnight British time, so 7 PM Eastern time, and go all night until the majority of the results are in. So please do join us for what I hope will be a tremendous victory for the forces of good. See you there, folks.